temples. The place is rich in its culture with its agro-festivals and farmers who love their land. Even in this consumerist era, we can find the common folk who adhere to cardinal values and ethics at heart. This is the homeland of Padma Bhushan Dr. B.M. Hegde, whom famous jurist Nani Palkiwala had called the only cardiologist in the world with a loving heart.
I love those who hate me more than I love those who love me. Because at least I think indirectly that if I give them more love, the hatred might come down.
For the last 5 decades, Dr. Hegde has been enlightening his audience with his speeches and humorous rhetoric full of latest developments in the medical field. Spending his every drop of energy to heal the physical and mental illness of our generation and help them to walk back to the valley of life, Hegde can be called the living legend in the world of medical science.
See, now mainly medicine has become a business, which Dr. Hegde recognized long back and trying to teach us.
Bele Monapa Hegde was born on 18 August 1938 to farmer parents. Home was the first school of this great scientist, where he learned the basics of nature from his mother. While he reached school at the age of 10, his heart was filled with the Advaita philosophy that nature and man are one. He passed 10th standard with rank and joined intermediate at MGM College, Udupi. In 1960, he passed MBBS with gold medal from Madras Stanley Medical College and also received a special award for surgery.
My childhood impression is 2 things. A, my teachers in school, they were very good. So I wanted to be a teacher right from my childhood. B, our local doctor was very compassionate. So I wanted to be a doctor like him. So luckily God has been good. So I have been a doctor, but I have been a teacher for more than half a century. And even now I teach. And even now I see patients, the people who have some problems, not for making money, but I see them to help them.
He received MD from King George's University of Medical College, Lucknow, with DGHS scholarship from Government of India. Later, he flew to England to specialize in cardiology. This was years before the allopathy medicine grew popular in India.
He is one particular person whom I remember in Malayalam there used to be Bashir. He could bring in the street language, and at the other end of the spectrum, O.V. Vijayan, person who could talk to the intellectuals of the people. So he can relate to anybody. He has inspired generation of students.
He served in Middlesex and National Heart Hospital in England. He became the student of Nobel laureate cardiologist Dr. Bernard Lown of Harvard.
Bypass surgery will relieve the pain, but bypass surgery will not give you any other benefit. Bypass surgery will not make you live long. Bypass surgery will not prevent another heart attack. Bypass surgery will not prevent sudden death. Bypass surgery will not prevent strokes. But bypass surgery will make life easy for the rest of your life, however long it is. That is one indication. The second indication is the heart function. Because of a large heart attack, the functioning of the heart has become so small that the patient is not able to go to the toilet without breathlessness. So life becomes miserable. In that case, if a good surgeon does bypass surgery with some corrective measures in the left ventricle, life may become tolerable till he dies. These are the 2 indications.
Dr. Hegde received Commonwealth Fellowship twice from England for the best medical service. He got Heart and Chest Association Fellowship as well. He became the Senior Registrar in Middlesex Cardiology Department. From here, he got acquainted with British Heart Journal editor Walter Somerville, from whom he learned the basics of medical journalism.
For angioplasty, there is no indication actually. The large studies independently done show angioplasty in very poor light. But there are so small studies, plenty of them funded by the industry, which show good results. But now the meta-analysis of all the studies together has shown that in stable angina, That is a chest pain which comes on exertion. When you stop, it goes, and patient is otherwise all right. They should not have angioplasty at all, because then once you do an angioplasty, then there is a foreign body inside. You got to take blood thinners all the time. These blood thinners look good on paper, but they may make you have a bleed in the brain. Almost all blood thinners have a risk of a bleeding in the brain. So we may convert the label in the death certificate from a heart attack to a stroke, that's all. The date will not change. So these are the real indications. But today, every Tom, Dick and Harry who goes to the hospital gets an angiogram done. There is no indication for angiogram at all. Angiogram should be only done scientifically when you clinically decide that the patient requires either an angioplasty or a bypass surgery. Then to know where to do the plasty, you do that. Because every living human being, except a small percentage, about 5% people who are an exception, everybody has these blocks, and these blocks are good in a sense because they make the heart used to less blood supply, which is called preconditioning. So these people get a heart attack, they don't die. And if you don't have a block, which is only a 5% of the population, probably if you get a block because of the clot, you instantaneously die. So these blocks are good. Even if you do the angiogram for school-going kids, you have the blocks. American army soldiers aged 18 to 20 were angiogrammed both in the Vietnam War and Korean War. The dead soldiers, shot dead soldiers, very healthy soldiers. 76% of them had 3 vessel blocks. 52 had 2 vessel blocks. And some had even the left main block equivalent, which means almost everybody has a block. So today what has happened is, see, once money comes into the picture, humanity goes out of the window. So supposing you have built a cardiac hospital or a setup, it costs about 30-40 crores of rupees. So the interest alone, you require 4 bakras every day. So that is not what it is. If you want a healthy heart, remember one thing, however careful you are, if you are going to get a heart attack, you are going to get a heart attack. So nobody can prevent that. Disease is an accident. If you are healthy today, it is chance. If you are not healthy today, it is chance. So it's all chance, and no doctor can give you guarantee. No doctor can tell you what happens to you tomorrow, because it's all statistical. And we in medicine use the wrong mathematical calculations for the body. Human body is non-linear. And we use the linear mathematics to predict the future, which is wrong. I saw a patient 3 days ago. This man was advised bypass surgery about 5 times in the last 5 years by a doctor. Repeatedly, he goes to the doctor, he says, if you don't do bypass surgery, you will die. Now the doctor has died. So the patient was very happy. He is saying, the doctor has died and he is still alive. So these things are all there because doctors have been predicting the unpredictable future of human beings. And if they know a little bit of science, which is called quantum physics says there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow is yet to be born. How can you predict the future? So we can't do that. But we assure patients in everything. And what works is the faith in the doctor. So a doctor must be a good human being. There was a study of bypass surgery done through the laser beam where patient doesn't know that the bypass surgery is done. They had a study where half the patients were operated upon, other half were not operated upon. But both went to the theatres, got anesthetized, and these without operation, when they went out, they were told, you had a wonderful operation. And mind you, they are all perfectly fine. The operated fellows are not fine. So it's the placebo effect, the faith in the doctor. People say, oh, he has had an angioplasty, he is fine now. Because he has paid 3 lakhs and he is fine, he has to be fine because he thinks he is all right. If you think you are all right, you are all right. And one good thing to avoid a heart attack to the extent possible is to avoid hating anybody. Compassion. You love everyone. Help others if you can, because this world can go on only by mutually helping each other.
Dr. Hegde became professor in Mysore Medical College. In 1964, he was invited to Mangalore Kasturba Medical College by Dr. TMA Pai. He assumed office as tutor, dean and pro-vice chancellor. Later, he became the vice chancellor of Manipal University. He also became visiting professor at various universities in England and the United States. In 1982, he was appointed in Middlesex Hospital Medical School, and till 2005, he was a human health affiliate professor in Northern Colorado University.
Compassion is the thing that keeps you healthy. That's why I always say, When you are very proud, I means illness. When you say we means wellness. So if you want to be well all the time, think that you are a part of society, because you yourself is a colony of about 120 trillion happy individual human cells. And these are all individuals. And they are all happy together inside your body. And for that, you have 10 times more germ cells inside your body. So we are all living together. Germs are our real friends. It is the germs in the first 2 billion years of this world who donated their DNA to make a man. We didn't come for monkeys, as is being told in the Western science. No. All that is just this. Western science is a science for money. Western science is science translated into technology. Technology into money. So Western science has given us certain things, like you can fly like a bird, you can go under the sea, you can blast another country, you can kill somebody, but you can't create somebody. Western science, you can hate somebody, but you can't love somebody. So what mankind needs is universal compassion. So it's not what you eat that kills you, it is what eats you that kills you, your negative feelings. It's all chemistry, it's all adrenaline, and you get more parasympathetic things. Your pulse rate comes down, your heart rate comes down, your cholesterol comes down, your sugar comes down, your blood pressure comes down, your chance of getting cancer comes down. Because we are here because of someone else's compassion. So you have to be compassionate to others.
He became the international advisor in the Irish College and 3 Royal Colleges in Britain. Taking into consideration his valuable work in the medical arena, he was conferred Emeritus International Advisor by London Royal College of Physicians. During 1988-98, Dr. Hegde became the first Indian to be appointed MRCP examiner. 2 decades of his constant work had borne fruit when Calcutta was made a center for MRCP examination, which was attended even by students from Middle East.
Organ transplantation is a big business. See, human body is not made by fitting these organs together like a motor car. So it doesn't help. You have been one cell in the mother's womb that has multiplied into you today. And that one cell, while multiplying, has taken friendship from all the cells, the germs, etc., etc. So if you take your 2 brain cells, they may not have the same genome. One genome of a brain cell can have another its friend genome in the heart cell. So all this, if you know, you become very humble. When you don't know this and you think I can do an angioplasty, I can do bypass surgery, you become arrogant. It's the arrogance that brings in all these problems. There are good doctors, lot of good doctors, but they can't also work because the corporate hospitals force them to do things for money. So they get, they have to work there for money. And when you say, I have to work, you are unhealthy. I am working, you are healthy. You love your work. Many of them don't love their work, but they are forced to do something.
Hegde was a fellow in Dublin College, Ireland, American College of Cardiology, and Indian Academy of Medical Science. He was selected member of New York Academy of Science, which is a rare achievement in the medical career of a doctor. Only at this point, when he was considered the crowning voice in medical research by various countries, Tirupati Sri Venkateswara Institute of Medical Science conferred an honorary PhD on him.
The vaccine industry is a very powerful industry. So the vaccine industry will get anything done. I tell you, the governments usually in most of the Western countries are run by the drug companies, not by the politicians. So the drug companies can get anything done.
I have 2 young daughters and I have not given them senseless polio drops. I also don't believe that milk is their primary source of calcium. So knowing Professor B.M. Hegde over the years has been a very enriching experience.
You will be surprised. There is a court ruling in America now saying that a drug company can advertise a drug for a particular disease as a drug for another disease without getting FDA permission. Supposing I have a drug A for heart disease, I can sell it as drug B for brain disease. Formally, the law is very strict. You have to go to the FDA or to get your permission. Of course, today FDA can also be influenced. That's a different story.
After retirement from his official duties, he became an active member in a circle of scientists in America, which consists of a galaxy of Nobel laureates as its members. Their main aim was to bring together the positive side of Ayurveda, naturopathy, homeopathy and allopathy and help the common man to retain normal health. Dr. Hegde says this new revolution, which they have been propagating through the new media, is left unnoticed or sidelined by doctors who view their profession as a way to gain easy money, and the media which support their malpractices through advertisements.
All the doctors that we meet always believe that allopathic medicine is the end all and the cure all for everything, whereas Dr. B.M. Hegde, who is a very reputed doctor, a dean of the medical school, was willing to speak against medicine. He is willing to go against what he has been trained in when he finds something, when he finds new evidence, when he finds new information that is to the contrary.
Their team has proved that the medical insurance and cancer treatment are fraudulent, and they emphasize on prevention of disease, which is much better than any clinical remedies. Their scientific research has unveiled the cutthroat exploitation in the medical field.
The human mind is not in the human brain. Okay? All mental diseases are treated with chemicals. This is no scientific basis at all, because chemicals only affect the brain. So the brain gets dulled, but the mind doesn't get affected. Most mental, except the serious psychosis like schizophrenia or mania, there you have to give a chemical drug to pacify them. Otherwise, giving drugs, chemical drugs for mental diseases like depression and all is no scientific basis at all. Why do you get depressed? Because you are frustrated. Why do you get frustrated? Because you are defeated. Why do you get defeated? Because of competition. Why is competition? For money. Ultimately, it comes to money.
Their journal, named Journal of the Science of Healing Outcomes, is a treasure of new ideas for doctors around the globe. Turning down the millions worth of temptations offered by multinational drug companies, this world-famous research group becomes the torch-bearer of scientific philosophy that leads common man to healthy living.
Ayurveda and homeopathy are all good sciences, provided there again commerce doesn't come in. Today Ayurveda is also being commercialized. You say the Ayurvedic spas and all, $5,000, $10,000 for one day. This kind of a thing, money comes in, everything gets spoiled. Homeopathy advertises, oh, this is all done, I have no disease at all now. All for money. Genuine homeopathy is good, genuine Ayurveda is good, genuine Western medicine is good for emergency quick fix. But for chronic diseases, all other alternative systems. So we must have a system in the future where all these systems, the best things in these systems are put together into one integrated system. And we are doing research on these things. We have devised so many simple treatment methods, and a lot of incurable diseases we have got simple treatment methods. But who listens to all this? Nobody wants this because it not generates money. If you have anything which generates money, there are a lot of people interested in it. For example, I have discovered a new electromagnetic device for heart attack, etc., etc. Now I don't want to commercialize. The minute there are a lot of people wanting to give me millions of dollars if I want to sell the idea to them. But I don't want to do that because they will exploit the whole thing. And today, we can use it for our people, common people, poor people. Actually, I just came back from the United States of America. There in a medical school, there was a big conference on how to integrate the various systems of medicine. America had all these systems, but it's the modern medical which killed all of them. Using law, using various other things. Now, as you say, vaccination. There is a big group of people who are opposed to vaccination, but they are not heard. They are called charlatans, they are anti-scientific, etc., etc. I don't know what science means. Science is not trying to teach nature a lesson or two. Science is trying to understand nature. And vaccination, if you try to understand that, doesn't come in that science at all. I don't know what science vaccination is.
Internationally renowned material scientist and the father of nanoscience, Dr. Rustom Roy, has taken initiative in sharing his discoveries and developments and thus given a new impetus to the public health sector. He was a disciple of the double Nobel laureate Linus Pauling, former Chief Justice Venkatachellayya, former CBI Director Karthikeyan, and Bangalore IIM founder Professor Ramaswamy are among the many dignitaries who helped spreading the pioneering work of the Indian chapter of the World Academy of Authentic Healing, headed by Dr. Hegde.
It is not the gene that is important, it's the environment that is important. So you think, if you philosophically look at it, these people want more diseases. Supposing this world becomes a healthy place, what will they do? Money? No money. Everybody says, I am talking of healthcare, I am doing healthcare. You are not doing healthcare. You are spoiling the health of the people. Now you say cancer, cancer, cancer. You have 250 chemicals which produce cancer in our food. Permitted. You put your scent and all their chemicals in that. You put the face, so many things, lipstick, there are chemicals in that. All these are permitted chemicals. But they're all carcinogens. Most of them are carcinogens. Claude Bernard himself had admitted that germs are not important, but the environment is important. He said the seed is not important, but the soil is important. But people have forgotten that. Today, germ theory, antibiotics have killed everybody. Pasteur admitted it. Everybody admitted it. Anybody who is the sense will admit it. Pasteur has written it down. The seed is not important, the soil is important. And Theobald Smith, another big American doctor, in 1915, he propounded the Grimm's Law. Grimm's Law says, disease may be directly proportional to the virulence of the cause, but indirectly proportional to the resistance of the host. So host resistance is most important. That's called immune system. But that is the thing in Ayurveda. Swastasya swastha rakshitam. You preserve the well, the panchakarma and things like that, only to boost your immune system. There are a lot of things in the Indian medicine to boost the immune system. Eastern medicines.
In this modern era, where doctors who value the life of their patients over money are being kicked out of the corporate hospitals, in this scenario, Dr. Hegde warns that our public health is in deep trouble.
This is known. They did a 14-country study of industrialist countries, where there are more doctors and more specialists, there are more diseases and less health. Where there are less doctors and less specialists, there is better illness. So for example, the 14 countries, Japan is the best because only 120 doctors per 100,000 patients. America is the worst because 493 doctors per 100,000 patients. In Japan, the 99% of the doctors are family physicians. In America, 99.99% are specialists. So America's health is the worst. Japan's health is the best. Cuba's system is good because they have got a fantastic system. For example, an inhaler for asthma costs $125 in America, costs 5 pesos in Cuba. If you want to see what is Cuba like, you must see this movie, a documentary, if you just see. It's called Sicko, C-I-C-K-O, done by Michael Moore. If you see that, you get to know what a beautiful system they have. And you see what a horrible system America has got. And mind you, we are compounding American system with an interest here.
Dr. Hegde has more than 35 books and many scientific articles and popular columns to his credit. Further, he has a huge fan across the globe. Once acquainted, his healthy smile will get permanently carved into our hearts.
If you have outstanding communication skills like Professor B.M. Hegde, no door will come in your way. And for about a year's time, I was with him and imbibed the art of talking.
Screening is a horrible thing. If you are healthy, never go for a screening because you become a patient. But there is nothing like normal blood pressure, normal sugar, normal cholesterol. What we have is statistical average. This average, if you convert it to normal, there are a lot of false positives, 25% false positives. So 100 people go for a checkup, 25 people become patients without any problem. This is called doctor thinks you have a disease syndrome. And we want more of it because we want to treat them all. Actually, Linus Pauling, who got 2 Nobel Prizes, said cancer research is a fraud. Cancer is the biggest business, 1.72 trillion business.
Letters from dignitaries like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, emphasizing how Dr. Hegde had changed their lives, will undoubtedly proclaim the might of this doctor. Padma Bhushan for Medicine, Healer of the Mankind Award, Dr. B.C. Roy Award for the Best Teacher in Medicine, J.C. Bose Award for Life Science Research, Pride of India Award, various Best Teacher Awards, Awards for Scientific Articles, Distinguished Physician of India Award, Vaidya Ratnakara Award, Shankaracharya Swarnavalli Award, Best Communicator Award and many recognitions, 12 gold medal orations, and thousands of invited lectures. There is no end to this list and such an envying career which no other doctor could claim.
Actually, the two scientists, the Nobel laureates, they said HIV virus has nothing to do with AIDS. But you have to make money because you have to sell some antiviral drugs. You see, AIDS is not such a simple thing as just HIV virus. No, it's a very complicated thing. There are a lot of things involved in it. People don't want to admit that. You see a beautiful book written by these scientists. It's called Inventing the AIDS Virus. Inventing the AIDS Virus. It's written by a genius of a virologist called Peter Duisberg. And it's a foreword by the father of the PCR test, Nobel laureate Kary Mullis. You can't dispute their importance. Fecal transplant is a common thing. It was done in India in the 17th century. If a cow is serious disease, another cow's cow dung was given. Based on this, an American doctor started doing that for children dying of Clostridium difficile diarrhea. Anyway, the child is dying, let me say. So she gave the mother shit, and the child recovered, and children recovered. So it's become a regular thing. But they give it as a big name, fecal transplant. Now to make it look a little better, they take that yellow part of the feces, they take and the germs only they give.
A patient who had been thrown to the valley of death by allopathy is brought back to life by the healing touch of an Apurva Vaidya, Dr. Hegde, who is the ultimate resort of medical students and patients.
Change of mode of living, change your lifestyle. Today's rat race. You have to hate another person to make more money. You run after that. You have no time, you have no rest. And you eat all rubbish food. You drink alcohol to get some peace at night. And you drink coffee to stimulate you. How can you be healthy? I suggest some books for them to read because they should know what is happening in the world. The one book is The Theory of Reality. This is a book written by David Webers. Then another book is called Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. And the third book is called Molecules of Emotion by a girl called Candace Pert. These three books are good. And if you want to tell them, there's a book I have written called What Doctors Don't Get to Study in Medical School.
A doctor who thinks that science means knowledge which is ever changing would find Dr. Hegde's books a great relief. What Doctors Do Not Get to Study in Medical School by Dr. Hegde was cited as the holy text in the medical world by Dr. Richard Smith in the British Medical Journal. Dr. Hegde, who is 78 and still roaming the world energetically, is one of the greatest doctors that ever lived on this planet.